Hello YouTube, Robin Hood Bricks here, and it's Brick Hall O'Clock with a package from bricklink.com. Right, so let's get into this package. And this order was spurred on by a number of things really. I was looking for lots of different things, as I usually do, for lots of different projects. And this particular Bricklink store happened to have quite a few pieces for quite a few of the things that I was interested in buying. It's got some fence pieces that I was after quite urgently to finish off the edge of that farm. He had loads of pieces that were sort of old and undersea related that I could use. Loads of quite good priced big ugly rock pieces and stuff like that, and that's why this box is quite so big, but also a couple of pieces that I've had on my wanted list for a long time. So without further ado, let's open this. Oh, and it looks very nicely packed, very full as well, seemingly done by colour and category. So I'll tip all of that out. There we go. Get rid of the box. Wow, right, where to start? Well, this one is not very interesting perhaps, but it's just loads of very cheap bricks. 2x10 bricks. I'm going to use these to help support my fairground, and I've got loads in blue and loads in yellow as well. So whenever I see some really big bricks for a very cheap price, I tend to get them. So that's what I've done there. So not very exciting perhaps, but good value for money. And exactly the same, I've got these funny shaped pieces that were used a lot around sort of 1990 and that sort of time as the front of sort of bay window pieces on buildings. But I'm not really worried about the colour because they won't be on show. So I've got some yellow ones, some black ones, probably even got a printed one. Nope, no I don't. There we go. So they'll help support all of my fairground as well. And while we're on big pieces, I may as well go through these big ugly rock pieces as well. So I've got quite a lot of these. I've got 3 bags worth, and these will be largely for my undersea setting. I'm getting bigger and bigger and bolder plans for my undersea setting. I mentioned it in the last video I did, which was the interview with Mrs. Hood. Thanks again to her for helping out with that. And one of the comments afterwards was, I'm increasingly thinking that you're going to be having an aquarium actually full of water for your underwater scene. That is actually a great idea, but I think it wouldn't be that great in the long term. As algae started to grow and it all got a bit grotty. But I do like your thinking. So I am going very bold, but not with real water. But I realise whatever I do, I'm going to need an absolute stack of these, and I can use them that way to make caves, and obviously that way to make cliffs. And I'm not just going to put them all in rows like this, like some people do. I don't like that. I just have them all sort of staggered, some in front of others, and like I say, the wrong way around and so on. And I think we can get all sorts of good things showing. So I've got 3 of the big ugly rock piece in dark bluish grey in this bag, and 2 of the lerp or large ugly rock piece, which is the sort of more triangular one as well, so we can mix things up. And then let's look at the other bags. Maybe they've just been split because the bags were the certain size. Now these I can see immediately are old dark grey, so they're slightly different. So you can see that difference there. These are a lot more sort of muddy coloured, and just that sort of variation I think really adds a lot to any scene. So that's really good. So I've got some lerps, 2, 4, 6, 7 of those. Wow, loads. And I think this colour is arguably better for under the sea because it just looks, I don't know, this looks kind of too clean if you ask me. But definitely a variation is better than all of one or all of the other. And then a third bag, yeah, it looks like more old dark grey for the burps. And we've got 4 of those. So that's obviously why I was keen to get those, because these are relatively uncommon. The big ugly rock piece in old grey. So an absolute load of those for our backdrop. I might actually move my camera back a little bit just to give us a bit more space now for the rest of it. Then another big bag. Wow, these are a lot bigger than I thought actually. I'm not sure if these are going to work quite as I intended, but nonetheless, these are wing pieces. Now, I got these out of curiosity, really. Wow, they are big. And there's 4 here. So we've got 2 left wing for a dragon and 2 right wings for a dragon. And they're from the Ninjago set 70736, Attack of the Morrow Dragon from 2015. Well, you might be able to guess what I thought I might be able to use these for. I thought they could be quite a backdrop of some kind of plants. Some plant life underwater, a big kelp forest with these sort of billowing kind of in the currents. And they are a bit big though. Now the good news is I'm doing a very big underwater scene. So maybe the size of them will actually be an asset when it comes to it. You know, if you think about them sort of sticking out between some rocks or something like that. But they are quite big. I don't want them just to block out whole sections of interest with the same pattern. But it was definitely worth a try. So yeah, I'm not sure how I feel about those, but I think you'll agree that although they do look like dragon wings, they also do look like sort of very jaggedy edged plants that would be under the sea. Yeah? Can you see that? I think so. And the fact that they're very thin, I think adds a different bit of texture, and they are official Lego parts, of course. So I'm quite a good fan of those. I was definitely don't think that was a mistake to give those a try. Then I've got a massive mixed bag full of little bags. Now here are the fence pieces. Now, it was suggested to me that I could not just use these relatively rare brown fence pieces for my for the boundary fence of my farm, that I could actually use white ones as well and have somebody in the process of painting the brown fence white or whitewashing it maybe, and then have them sort of at the point where the white fence is turned into brown. Yeah, that's a very good idea. Now before they suggested that, I went on a massive hunt for brown fencing, and this vendor had 5, and that's pretty much why I chose them. There were other people who had a few fences as well, but this person definitely had the best assortment of other stuff as well. So I'll have to decide whether I still want to do that whitewashing scene or not, because it will be at the edge of the fairground as well, and I don't really want to sort of complicate things too much around the area, because it's going to be very busy already. So I might just use the brown fence and use that white fence idea somewhere else instead. But either way, I've definitely got enough fencing now, so that is good. Talking of undersea, here's some more of those flame pieces. Now these are from the Bionicle set, Tahu 8534, and I've got 3 of those, and these could be used as flames in a fire or something like that, or they could be underwater sort of plants as well. I love the sort of gaps in them because they're sort of see-through if you sort of look through the gaps in there. So you can kind of imagine that being an underwater scene almost, having 3 sort of tall flumes of that. Yeah, so I'm liking that a great deal. And then the other thing that was in these bags was these. And don't these look amazing? I just bought these because they were just, wow, just so different. So these are also Bionicle pieces from set 8978, Scrawl from 2009. There is actually a 2010 version of Scrawl as well, I noticed, who is a character in that. And that's the one with all the lime sort of detailing. But this one is all black with red detailing. And these were kind of the 2 wings on the back of him, and also part of his weapon as well. But I thought, well, I don't know what I'm going to use them for, but I thought they looked very interesting as a weapon with this red bit, and I was kind of curious as to whether it was actually a separate bit of plastic or painted. I think it's just sort of painted on, but it's very well done. I mean, it almost looks dual molded, but I think it's too old for that. So anyway, I thought I'd use it as some sort of weapon. It almost looks like some sort of death ray, doesn't it, on some sort of spaceship? Or maybe it's, some sort of evil mastermind's big laser for chopping up the agents or something like that. And I got 2 just because they're pretty cheap. They were just pennies each. But I could even use them under the sea as some sort of, undersea sort of mining laser or something like that. But they're very, very interesting pieces. I just love the patterning as well. So that's really good. Other stuff for under the sea includes some trans neon orange pieces like these 2 wings. And these wings are part of the Dragon Rider set 4818 from 2000. Amongst other sets, of course. Now, I'm not going to use them as a dragon's wings. I, again, thought these looked quite organic and could be used under the sea as some sort of plant. Maybe the leaves would be sort of horizontal for this sort of one and be sticking out like that. So I'll just throw those into my scene. And a good thing with them being trans neon orange is that they'll glow under a black light or UV light. So that's very good. And the other thing in that little bag was these little sort of spinner pieces in trans neon orange as well. And I thought they might be plant life as well. You can imagine some sort of stick holding that up, almost like a big daisy on a stalk. And they could go under the sea as well. They're kind of asymmetric, which probably isn't realistic, but yeah, I quite like them. I think they're good. Now, they came in a few sets, like 4793 Ogle Shark Sub from 2002, which is a very scary looking submarine with a grabber hand and a sort of cutting arm that's made out of these pieces. But yeah, they'll look really good glowing as well. So that's that. While we're on the undersea theme, I think this person, or the collection who this person bought, very much liked undersea sets, because there's loads of parts from all the old sort of Aquanauts and Aqua Raiders and Hydronauts and all Aquazone and all sorts of things like that. And these are the sort of casings that go around a propeller, kind of to protect it from bumping into stuff on a submarine. So I don't know which submarine I'll be adding these to. But I did think that they looked very, very correct for under the sea. So I'll probably modify one of my sort of Lego build submarines to include these. Yeah, I'm really glad I got those. These were like 3p each or something. So yeah, I'll definitely have a pair of those to try. Very happy with them. They look great. What else is undersea? We're on that. Yeah, I've got some trans neon wands, which I could use as prizes in my fairground, but I could also use under the sea, so I'm going to scatter those on there. I've got some lime green flippers, which again I can use for plant life, because anything that's sort of got a jagged edge or something I think looks quite like a marine plant. So you think of that as being one leaf of a plant. I think that works. Have them all going off at different angles. So there we go. Another under the sea piece is this screen. I can't use these tiny bags, so I'll pull them apart. Now this one is from a Coast Guard set, 6435 Coast Guard HQ from 1999, which is a kind of a junior set. And I got this one for obvious reasons, because you can see that there are some fish on there and a little crab, he's quite fun, and a screen showing where a wreck is and X marks the spots. There must be some treasure there or something, so that can definitely get incorporated into my undersea scene. And that's actually on an old light grey brick, but that's no problem at all, because I can put it in sort of a bank of computers where you'll only see that bit. I think that looks really nice, actually. Yeah, so there's another example of undersea pieces that this person had. Here's yet more. Got a couple of different diver masks. Now, I don't really need loads of different diver masks, but these ones really made me curious, just because we've got a trans neon yellow one, and we've got a trans dark blue one as well. So these are the kind of hinging type ones that can fit on a normal helmet, and you can kind of flip them up and flip them down. So I might have these on certain people doing certain jobs. I think they're quite fun. I especially like that one just because it's glowing. So they were only a couple of pennies each, so I thought I'd get the ones that I'd never seen before. And there's one ski thing here that I'm going to use for a little build that I won't mention here. Then we've got some Technic gears, because I'm using those up at a rate of knots on all of my fairground builds. So I've got all the ones he had for a reasonable price. I've got, 5 of the really small 8-tooth gears and 2 of the sort of medium-sized gears in an old grey colour, but I don't really mind that because most of them won't be seen. Some rock pieces, and they're in old dark grey as well, so I think that's quite a good contrast to have, so that's why I've got those. There's 3 of that one and 4 of this one. Don't need them in pairs as such, because I'm just going to use them as part of a rock face, so that's fine. Just toss these in my big heap. And more rock pieces. You need some arches, don't you? Just to make a natural sort of arch as part of your rock face. So I've got 3 in light bluish grey and 1 in old dark grey. And I was using these to make little souvenirs of my castle for sale in Brick Nottingham. I still haven't done that stall actually for the souvenirs, but I could actually use them for that as well, of course. Put them there. Lots of little grabbers. Now these are good for undersea as well, for mounting things like fish, because you can use the claw bit to grab the fish's tail, and then you can stick the bar end of it just into any old modified brick or open stud or anything like that. So they're really useful. 2 neon cones. Can't remember why I got those, but there they are. There'll be a specific reason. Some seats. Always need those. Chairs for different builds. And then this is very interesting. So I hadn't really seen this before. And it's kind of a normal round brick on the base, but then it's got this kind of wide cross. And that's usually because it's used to hold cardboard pieces or even cloth pieces and things like that when they're part of a set, like in the Free Kick Frenzy 3423 from 2002, where it's holding the kind of board that he's trying to hit free kicks around or through. So I just thought that was a different shape and might be quite interesting. And it might also work under the sea as something organic, I don't know. But it was very interesting. I only got one because he only had one. But yeah, I'm glad I got it. A few pennies. Very interesting. Some minifigure pieces. Oh, I've got some short legs in blue. I always run out of short legs. I just don't have enough. So whenever I see them for a decent price, I get them. All this is used, but as you can see, it's all in pretty good condition if you ask me. And then a lovely pink dotted top with necklace, which is almost certainly from the Paradisa line, but I really like that as well. It's good to get some old torsos amongst all the new ones because there's only a certain amount of variety, of course. So increasing that variety by getting some old ones is always welcome. Oh, and there's 3 more arch pieces, and these ones are actually in the old light grey. So you can just see the subtle difference there. But again, it's a bit more muddy of a colour there on the left, that one, the older grey. But those little differences really do show up and make it look a lot more natural when they're all together. And I've done that a lot on my existing cliff faces, which you can see in the videos around my bridges and around my harbour area in places. Then I got this because it interested me again. Now there are several pieces that look a bit similar to this. Oh, I can't get that out. I'm just going to rip this bag because I can't get at it. And they're usually in things like Belleville sets or fairy sets or something like that. And you can see that these little cutouts are heart-shaped. But I just thought I could use it as an interesting piece of architecture. And because this one's only 2 studs deep, I thought it might even work on a facade somewhere, you know, as a balcony surround or something like that with these lovely sort of scrolls and so on. So that's been on a few sets, including 4178, Mickey's Fishing Adventure from 2000. So that just shows that there were Mickey Mouse sets in a few years ago that are all coming back now. And actually, talking of new Mickey sets, they've now released a Lego sheep that is Lego City scale. OMG. I'll be getting about 10 of those as soon as they're available. It shows that Lego do listen because I specifically requested some minifigure scale sheep when I was doing the farm, Far Corner Farm, and they really have listened. So let's hope they listen to my other more recent request for loads of different birds like robins and pigeons and blackbirds and stuff like that, because if they have, then I'll be really happy indeed, because that will make the animal life in my city even better than it is now. Oh, ho, ho. It's skateboard time. Everyone knows I've got a skateboard illness, collecting skateboards, and this one is from 3537, Skateboard Vert Challenge from 2003, and I already had the blue skateboard from that set, but not the yellow one. And you might think, looking at the top, well, why is that so exciting? Well, it's for the sticker on the bottom that makes it very rare. It's a bit grubby. I should be able to repair that using my patented hot tea technique. But otherwise, I really like that. It's a really nice clear sticker with, what's that say, kickflip written on the top. So that looks really good. And that's great to have a sticker on the underside, because if somebody's doing some great big sort of jump on something and you can see the underside, or maybe they've got it in their hand because they're doing some sort of fancy move. I don't really know the names of all those moves, but then you'll be able to see that sticker as well when they're doing something where they sort of grab it up higher on their body. So I think that looks really good. So that's another one of the skateboards that are available, ticked off my list. A collection continues. So yeah, really happy with that. That was actually one of the pieces that really helped me choose this person as the supplier for this haul, because I've never seen that for sale before. Now here's a very new piece, or at least new to me, and this is actually from another of the old Mickey Mouse sets, and this is a mailbox. And you can see it's sort of a curved shape with, and it would have had a door on the front, and that was a few sets, but 4167 Mickey's Mansion from 2000 was one of them. And there's Mickey and Minnie in that set, and Pluto, so we've had him before as well. And it's kind of a Fabuland type style set, that one, with all the big sort of pieces, a bit over exaggerated and fun cars and stuff like that. But this piece really intrigued me, and I don't know what I'm going to use it for, so suggestions please. It's a bit big for a mailbox city scale, I think. But it's definitely a very interesting shape. I could mount it sort of that way up and have it being a stand for something else. Almost looks like I could put it on the side of a factory and have sort of almost chimneys coming out of it, or pipes or something like that. But yeah, I got it because it's really interesting shape, really. And I like it. I'm glad I did. So that's there. Very interesting piece. A couple of those lime dinosaur tails that I use a lot. Now, motorbikes. I don't really want to start collecting motorbikes, trying to get all the different variations of them, because, well, there's too many for a start, but I do seem to have bought two more here, two more dirt bikes. So I'll have to try and resist the urge to continue getting all the other colours. But I've got one in the lovely dark blue colour. It's been in a few sets, but including 60069, the Swamp Police Station, which has got a really cool swamp boat in it. Or what do you call that? Airboats. Is that what you call them? Anyway, I'll need to get some wheels for this. I think I've bought the right... Oh, is that the right base for this type of bike? Don't want to force it on. See if the other one's a bit of a better fit. Oh, there we go. That's better. Yeah, so there's the dark blue one. And then there's the dark grey one. Much less colourful, but that's actually unique to one set, which is an Indiana Jones Last Crusade set called Motorcycle Chase 7620. So, well, it was there, so I've got this one as well. Let's see if that one fits on that one. Yeah, that one goes on fine. So I've got two of those. I'll have to get some wheels for them, but that would be good fun if I'm going to do some sort of motorcycle gang that have got dirt bikes as their kind of weapon of choice, shall we say. Right, so we've got one more bag, which is huge, so I'm probably going to have to speed up, or we'll have the longest haul video ever. Oh, though, having said that, there's quite a few big pieces in here. So I've got more 2x2x3 bricks to hold up my fairground ground level from the sort of basement level, if you will. So there's loads of those. Fit those in there. Getting a right heap this time. Lots and lots of bricks to do washing on. And I did think I'd got some pattern ones of these, so here they are. So there's two of these bricks again, and they won't be seen. So the fact that they've got a police sign on them doesn't really bother me. And they've been part of the 6332 Command Post Central sets from 1998 that was re-released in 2002 with a slightly different set number. But yeah, they're quite nice. It'd be almost nice to use them at a police station, but I've done mine, including the SSP, obviously. Now that is a very unusual brick. I bought these purely out of curiosity, really, because I hadn't seen them before. They are a corner brick, 4x4, in white, and they look... That one's a little faded. This one looks really bright. And the reason why I'm surprised is because they are ridiculously old. The first set that these came out in was in 1956, which was set 700/1. They didn't even have the same numbering system that we've got now quite. And that is just staggering, isn't it? And the last time they were made was 1969. So these are way, 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 way older than me by quite a long time, I'm happy to say. So I kind of got them to use, well, hopefully in a build. But, oh, yeah, they're slightly sort of less good quality, if you see what I mean. Look, when I've put them together, do you see how that one's sort of underlapping that one? It's like they've slightly warped over time, or maybe they were just built to not quite as good tolerance. I don't know, but they're quite hard to put together flat, actually. So it shows how we've come on. Well, look, there's an overlap there. That's, oh golly, they're barely put together, actually. It's like I'm trying to use some non-Lego bricks, but they do have the Lego stamping on them, as you can probably see there, in an old style font. So yeah, I might not be able to use these very well, but they work fine on certain studs better than others. Look at the gap in between there. That's crazy. Anyway, so some really old pieces that were just pennies again, so I thought I'd get those out of curiosity. And I can't believe that gap there. Did you see that dead on? That is crazy. Does it do it that way as well? Yeah. If I did it the other way. Yeah, it's almost like they're too small. Yeah, that's weird. Okay, so that's them. Ooh, these are very interesting. So these are some trans, I don't know if they're neon or bright green. I think they're trans neon green with some kind of extra white marbling on the inside. Yeah, it's hard to tell if that's going to glow under UV light, but they're really nice. I've got quite a lot of them, so you can guess what I'm using these for. Yep, they're going to be some sort of plant life. I think they look like that. I mean, really, they're sword blades from Ninjago sets, but yeah, I like them. With the marble bits on, they look a bit more organic, don't they? Yeah, I like that. So we've got loads of those. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. A couple of dishes in bright neon green, or rather trans neon green. And they are for my terabyte mech that I've been building for a while. And then these were in that bag as well. And these are trans neon green spears. Now, these were in lots of sort of alpha team sets for the baddies. And there was one of those that just made me really laugh when I saw the set. And it's one that I'm going to try and rebuild. So that's why I've got 2 of these. And that set was 4799 Ogle Drone Octopus from 2002. And how cool is that? So forget the diver. I'm looking at the octopus, the black octopus that's got basically 2 spear guns kind of attached to it. And clearly it's an evil octopus, or maybe it's a robotic one, or maybe it's just been, I don't know, hypnotized or something. But I thought it was just hilarious. So I'm going to have one of those going around my undersea scene as kind of a flashback to that set. So this was the bit that I definitely didn't have. I think I've got a black octopus going somewhere. And the other bits look relatively normal, but now I've got those. Oh, that's what those 2 cones were for. Yeah, those 2 trans neon green cones are to hold these 2 up. So that's what that is. I think that's really, really funny, that set. Got some white fence pieces with stickers that I can take off if necessary. And that's for the white option on the fencing. So these ones say police with the yellow sort of banding as well. So I've got 3 of those. And those are from the Prisoner Transport set 7286 from 2011. And that's exactly the same as the one that Kaj sent me actually the other week. So I've got 4 of those now. So I could almost use them as police barriers if I had a real sort of huge police scene. So yeah, I won't rush in taking the stickers off these in case I want to use them, because often with a piece like this, one of them looks a bit rubbish on its own. But by the time you sort of get, 3 or 4 of them, you can really make quite an interesting statement with them. So yeah, maybe I will keep them. So they're interesting. That's something I hadn't quite planned. Stick those all over there. Then I've got some of these white modified tile pieces with the clips on that generally get used for signs. So I can have them hanging off lampposts or something using some of the stickers from other sets. I've bought these sort of tooth pieces before for Under the Sea, and these are from all sorts of sets, often Chima ones, things like that. So I've got loads of those. Yep, so I'll just tip those on the heap. All needs washing. Also in trans light blue are these. Now I hadn't seen these before, and I kind of like, well, kind of like a chainsaw blade really, and I think a bar piece goes up the middle of them into that gap. And they were actually used in a lot of Chima sets like 70226, Mammoth's Frozen Stronghold from 2015, which is quite a few very nice pieces in that set actually. It seems to be goody elephants versus baddie rhinos. I don't get Chima. It was in my dark ages, so I don't really know anything about it. But I've got 4 of those, and yep, you guessed it. I thought they could be plants of some sort or something under the sea. Anyway, they're very bright and very interesting, different shape. So I'm getting loads of these things just so we can really experiment. You can just think of the variety. But also, given the size of the setting I'm planning on for the undersea, I need this much variety just to fill it, really, because it's going to be really big. And I will have an announcement on that, but probably not too soon because I am going to, as I say, do the fairground. So this is all really a bit of a spoiler in a way of what's coming up. So I don't want to say too much. I've got one more of these icy panel pieces. I should arguably stop buying these, but if they're sort of 40p or something, I think, oh, go on then, I'll have one more. So these are from quite a few sets, but 7783, the Batcave, the 2006 version, where you can kind of put a minifigure in there who's been frozen into a block of ice or something like that. And I like those, and they'll be for my Arctic scene when I do that one day. One day, he says. Ooh, that's vanished from view. I'll balance that on there instead. Ooh, there's a very big, interesting piece, or rather 2 of them. Yeah, and so it shows that this person was definitely buying stuff around the sort of 90s, because this is a very interesting roof panel that's been used in white more than it's been used in black. And this is a black one with trans dark blue windows in it. And they look sort of semi-permanent, not that you'd want to take them out anyway. And I've no idea where I'm going to use these, but they're kind of like a skylight. And these were in one set, in this combination at least, 6478 Firefighters HQ from 2000, which, if that set is evidence for, shows that 2000 was a pretty bad time for Lego City sets. But anyway, but 2 of these I thought could be built into a roof. And unfortunately, this does work well, the profile of it, with slope bricks, so you can build it into a much bigger sort of setting. And that could be the 2 skylights in it. So I've no idea what that's going to be. You could almost use them as great big sort of bay windows like that, couldn't you, on the side of even an underwater setting, and have the windows going that way. That looks very interesting indeed, with some sort of studs on the side building. Yeah, so ideas for that, but I do like them. I mean, you could almost have them as the roof panels in an underwater base as well. So you could sort of see the fish through them from, well, if you were looking from the inside, I suppose, or even maybe you could have them as the sides of an aquarium, something kind of like that, and then it would look like the water inside was blue and have some fish in there. It could be sort of a testing tank or something like that. So the possibilities are endless. I'll have to think about that some more. If you've thought of a great idea, let me know. I'll balance those on there. And then one more tiny bag with some very tiny pieces in a bag that I'm going to rip. 2 small to reuse. And I've got a lovely little crystal piece in trans light blue. Very nice. I've got one of those, whatever that's called, sort of bar piece. And that's just to replace the one on the Daily Profit sign that I might use somewhere else one day, that I pilfered for something else. And here is a telescope piece in orange, and that was actually for my wonderful sort of flying craft build that I put a black one on, and I thought it might look better with an orange one, and I think I was right. What do you think of that? Some people said it looked like an elephant. I mean, I get that this is kind of a trunk and nose at ears, but really. Anyway, it's a flying elephant, so but yeah, I think that's a good improvement as well. So I'll take that off to wash it, but I will be putting that back on here in due course. So that was my haul, and wow, what a lot of interesting pieces. So many undersea ones in trans light blue, trans neon orange, trans neon green, red and black. These lovely big wing pieces which actually I think in the backdrop could really work. You could almost have them sort of on the back wall, if you will, behind all of the Lego, just sticking out at the top. Yeah, I think that's going to work somehow. Fence pieces, which was arguably the reason we went there in the first place. The most important single piece is this very hard to find skateboard with kickflip written on it. I just need to slightly tidy up. And some bikes, torsos, computer screens, this interesting mailbox, which I'm looking forward to using, and lots of big panel pieces and big supporting pieces as well. So, a very good haul that I'm really excited to get into using. Well, I do think this must be one of the most diverse hauls I've ever had on the channel, with so many lines represented that we mentioned going through, from Bionicle to Ninjago to Chima to Aqua Raiders to City to Mickey Mouse and all the rest of it. It's really quite amazing. And it includes several pieces that are new to me, like this white one, these yellow ones, the mailbox here, this white sort of awning piece or whatever it is, these window panels and so on. There's just so much there. Not to mention the dragon wings and all the pieces for Under the Sea as well. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to using these things. Some things straight away, like the fences. Other things probably not for quite a while, but it all adds to the mounting pile for a mounting number of projects that we'll be doing in future months. So as always, thank you very much for watching. It is appreciated. Do remember to like, comment and subscribe for more awesome LEGO videos. And if you value this channel, there are many ways in which you can support it. Do check out the links in the description below, including YouTube memberships. And next time on Robin Hood Bricks, we'll be doing our 300th video, would you believe, in under 2 years. And that will be a full city tour of everything we've done so far. And I think I'm going to concentrate on some of the smaller minifigure scenes that are really funny and spread out throughout the city, because I know that's one of your favourites. And we'll see how that goes. And then we'll be fresh back on Monday for another city update. So until either of those, see you! Ooh.